So we just moved from Italy to Switzerland, and the new apartment has room for a home office. And after months of researching options, we decided to go with the IKEA Besta system. And even though it's IKEA, this is still 4,500 francs worth of furniture, just the furniture, and that's just over $5,000. And after our daughter's packs wardrobe over in the next room took 3 days to put together, we decided to kind of treat ourselves and spend 725 francs, which is 820 US, for IKEA to do the installation, the delivery and installation. And it has been such a disaster. We only paid for delivery and installation to save ourselves stress and to know it would be like a super perfect professional job. And instead it's been beyond stressful and still ongoing. And it basically feels like we paid them $800 just to have them destroy $5,000 worth of furniture. Oh yeah, hi, I'm Kate. I make videos about productivity and organization. And since the move, I've been making videos about home organization. But let's just jump in and look how professionals put together IKEA furniture, something I've been doing since I was a 17-year-old girl in a college dorm. One of the main reasons we justified hiring the professionals is because we were going to have handles in our design. Now, handles are optional in Besta furniture, so there's no guide holes for drilling. They need to be marked and drilled yourself. And we could have done it, but once you spend $5,000 on furniture, you want it to be like professional level perfect for every detail of the installation. And instead, they installed these handles too low. There are some holes on the inside for different things, and they just used one of those as if it was a guide hole. The result is that the bottom screw of the handle hits the frame, which has scratched that part of the frame in every single one of the places where there's one of these cabinets. Also, because the screw's there, it's not flush because one end of the hinge of the cabinet is like the hinge and the other end has a little extra screw there. And to top it off, they're not even all perfectly even. It's pretty close, but like one of these here, like top of the bracket to the bottom is 2 centimeters. This one over here is 2 1/4, like not a huge difference, but not professional at all. If my boyfriend or dad was off by 1/4 centimeter, I would probably just give them crap about it for a couple of years. But these are Swiss professionals who got paid $800 to drill those holes. And the scratches just kind of blow my mind because we are in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, and in the German speaking world, like these, like, yeah, the box of them, these things, it's like a meme how much they love these and put them on any little place where like one thing can touch another thing. And instead, you know, they put these screws where they hit the surface, the white surface, and didn't put anything there and didn't ask us if we have them, because of course we have a box of them because we're in German-speaking Switzerland. Yeah, and instead every single one of the frames is now scratched. And speaking of scratches, some of these door fronts and cabinet fronts got scratched too. It's not insane. I feel like it's right on the line. If it was any worse, they would obviously have to replace it. I feel like this is as bad as it could be, but just on the side of the line where it's not going to be replaced, so we're just going to get screwed. And then the next thing was aligning the pieces. This is a Besta system. It's very modular. It's why we chose it. It's all of these somewhat small, different, well, small, medium, large kind of pieces that you can stack together wherever you want. And that means you gotta like align the corners. This is actually the one that bothers me the most because I'm going to be looking at these imperfections all day, every day while working. And there really is nothing that can be done to like make it right, short of ripping out all of this and starting new, which I certainly can't afford to do unless IKEA offers, but I'm very skeptical. And I know it's hard to line things up perfectly. That's exactly why I wanted to hire professionals to do it perfectly. And instead, these professional installers threw these pieces together with less attention to detail than 17-year-old me did for IKEA bookcases in college. And the next thing that really was poorly done, and let me just change the camera angle so you can see. This part here is well mounted. There's nothing supporting it underneath. And yeah, I knew this would be a little tricky, but this part here is really where the like unacceptable level of unprofessionalism becomes undeniable. I need to sit back down, I'm too stressed. When booking the installation and delivery from IKEA, they asked about our wall type. And these two guys showed up here without a drill. They actually had one small drill for tightening screws, and they asked my boyfriend to borrow his so the two of them could tighten the screws at the same time and finish faster. And then they left. They left without the job done because they didn't have what they needed to mount this part to the wall. Now, this was Friday. They showed up at the very tail end of the appointment window we booked weeks before, and shocker, didn't finish on time. But this is an entire room in our apartment. My lifestyle is not at the level where I can be short a whole room in my home for an extended period of time. All of the office stuff has been piled up in the living room since Thursday to give these guys the whole room to work and do their job. So they just leave on Friday, and now they're gonna come back Monday morning with the right tools to finish the job. We live with the living room a mess all weekend. I stay home all day Monday, never leaving where I could hear the door buzzer, even to hang laundry or anything. Wait all day, no show. So Tuesday they're supposed to come first thing, and they show up at noon. And now we have to go around the building apologizing to our neighbors for drilling at lunchtime, because this is Switzerland and you're not even supposed to do laundry on Sundays because it's a noise disturbance in a time that's dedicated for rest. So finally, they're going to wall mount these cabinets, but again, not the right drill. So instead they go out and buy shorter screws. This thing is right above my desk. Is it gonna come and crash on my head and kill me one day? I didn't even see the screws that they bought, and I have absolutely no trust or faith in them. But while this cabinet is hung, they're still not actually done. Let me show you the other side around on my boyfriend's wall, my boyfriend's side of the office. You can see it's still not actually all assembled. They claimed the bag of screws was missing from one of the items. I've never known anyone to get an IKEA box missing pieces. So I honestly think these men just lost a little bag, but that's between them and IKEA, and that's not my business. So there are two options when you buy an IKEA box and it's missing screws. They can either ship you the missing pieces from Sweden and it takes weeks, or the local IKEA store will give you a whole new replacement unit. So that is what's been arranged, and they will be bringing that on September 22nd, which is a week from this coming Friday, so 2 full weeks from the original installation date. And fun fact, one of my kids is having their birthday here between now and the 22nd. And my other daughter is also having her birthday that same weekend of the 22nd. So next week, besides having 2 different birthday parties happening in the house, I also have these coming back, hopefully, if they show. For party prep, I need every room in my house. I actually need more than my normal amount of room in my house. I cannot be down a room. I want to be taking things out of the living room that I don't want little hands getting into. Instead, I have extra things in the living room. And one more thing that's been damaged, and it's what's so frustrating is because I know there's nothing that's going to be done about it, is they have scratched up our floors in our rental apartment to the heavens. They didn't cover the floors, they didn't cover their shoes, they left glue residue everywhere, not sure what they were even gluing. You can see new dents where they dropped our $5,000 furniture like it didn't even matter. There's also new marks that match our step stool, the one I'm sitting on, because of course they didn't bring their own. There was a huge black handprint on the ceiling, close to the corner, where I have to get behind the cabinets to clean it. Black smudge is just everywhere, on these textured walls. I'm gonna have to order something special to clean them. And just the floors are disgusting, despite the fact that they borrowed our brand new Dyson to vacuum up some of the sawdust. And also the white shelves themselves that they just installed have pen marks and scratches and glue and sawdust just all over them. Now I know not all handyman type professionals consider cleaning up after themselves part of their job, but if they do, is one of the fastest ways to judge if you are dealing with someone low end or high end, along with punctuality. So these guys are as low end as it gets in my book. So that's where we are now. Friday to Tuesday of just unprofessional shenanigans, only to come home Tuesday night from a parent-teacher meeting, to come home and see what level job they did for $800, and to see what they did was destroy $5,000 worth of furniture. And they're not even done. Hopefully a week and a half from now on Friday the 22nd, they will, be back with the missing screws, to finish the job. And in the meantime, I have 2 parties to plan, cater, and host with little kids in the same space. And I can like literally feel my body breaking down with stress. And I have a pretty, like, if I could say so myself, a pretty high threshold for stress. Like, gave birth to both my kids without an epidural, even though I wasn't against them. I kind of planned on getting one. Moved like 6 hours from home at 17 and across the country after college to a new country like shortly after that, and another country just this summer, like living far away from my family, you know, living the immigrant life. Like I think I'm pretty like good at dealing with what rolls and, you know, rolling with it. But this is so stressful because like there's so many things that are like beyond acceptable that like, okay, maybe IKEA will fix it. But it's like not like, oh, this one drawer cabinet's broken, give me one new drawer cabinet. You know, it's like every single one of these has a scratch. Every single piece is aligned slightly off. Every single handle was put too low that it's banging against the frame. So I don't even know like what to do, what to ask for from IKEA to like make amends. The whole point of paying this $800 was to be stress-free and to have our $5,000 worth of furniture installed in a way that was really perfect and we really loved it. And instead it looks like crap. Not to be like dramatic, but it's been my dream to have a dedicated office for like 20 years. I've planned out 3 different ones and they just never happened for one reason or another. This was supposed to be a dream come true moment last Friday. I even sold some of my Adobe stock from when I used to work there. You know, because I didn't have $6,000 laying around. This is a really big thing for me and for us. Basically, every aspect of this job that I predicted would be a little tricky, that I used to justify the quite high cost of $800 to hire professionals, they did a worse job than I would have done just myself. Literally everything I had in my head to justify this, they did poorly. I was worried about drilling the handles, they did it wrong. I was worried about lining up the edges of the pieces and lining up the drawer and the cabinets. They didn't line them up. I was worried about it taking a lot of time. Let's see, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we're not even done. So I could have done it in 5 days. And instead I have at least another week and a half if everything goes as it's supposed to from this point until we're done. Oh, and I was a little worried about drilling into the wall for these pieces and like maybe being a little heavy, even though actually there's like, the best system has like a bracket and you just hang on the bracket. Yeah, but they just kind of gave up on doing that and used short screws instead. I honestly think I could have just yelled out in the crowd, anyone want $800 to come help me install some IKEA furniture? And I would have gotten like 1,000 times better results. And I should mention, these guys don't work for IKEA. They work for a logistics company that IKEA contracts out delivery and installation jobs to. But it's still on IKEA to fix their mistakes. I was not given the option to choose the contractor. IKEA has the contract with this company and they assigned them to my order. So it's IKEA's responsibility to set this right, however they will. I'll definitely make a follow-up video about if the job ever finishes, as well as what IKEA decided to set right, what they decided would be fair. And I actually plan on making a few videos about organizing the office, but definitely my next one will be following up about like what happens next. So subscribe if you want to see that, or if this is the future and you're watching it, I'll link it on the screen and below in all the places. And don't worry about seeing any content from me that like maybe you don't want to see if you're just curious about what happens, because I'm definitely not going to be making any other videos until this is done and until the birthdays are done. Okay, I'm going to go cry for 5 minutes until my kids come home from school for lunch, because this is Switzerland and they do that. Yeah, also it's Wednesday, so it's only a half day of school as well. So, see you in the next video.